Hello and thanks for checking out ChartGuys.com. We're proud to be one of the most successful technical analysis communities online, teaching you the skills to become a more confident, effective, and informed trader. Join our community of hundreds of analysts worldwide working together to learn the charts, generate profit, and achieve financial independence. For access to daily live chart analysis and market coverage, a thriving chat community, along with dozens of hours of exclusive educational materials. We look forward to seeing you. Let's check out some charts. Hey everyone, checking in on the MJ space after one of the more brutal days in recent memory in the sector as a whole, both in the US and in Canada. And it started with, well, it didn't start. We've been weak for a while. And in the video yesterday, we saw that things were not set up well whatsoever. And I do appreciate you that are still watching these videos at this point. And views are not going down as much as I would anticipate in such a bleak environment. But I get messages of people saying the content value is going down because I'm too bearish. But that's just their own bias, in my opinion, of not wanting to accept the facts. And the facts are that everything is weak right now. And so today we had a scenario where the S&P 500 had a clear bearish reaction to the impeachment proceedings getting underway for Trump. And so we dumped in the S&P 500. And the MJ sector responded to that as well. Then we had midday news come out that Massachusetts is banning the sale of vape cartridges for both nicotine and THC. So Curaleaf was hit extra hard on that news. So there's a lot of headwind. The Wednesday vote tomorrow is still on, but a lot of people don't think it has a chance of passing in the Senate, which maybe that's the case. So bottom line is everything is still weak at this point, and I'm sure that there's a lot of people on social media, haven't really been checking Reddit recently, but I'm sure that things are pretty bleak out there, especially after a day like today. So looking at CGC, we dropped down and broke the double bottom at $25. Very quickly dropped to $24. There's people out there making money on puts. So congrats to you bears out there that are playing this sector and profiting from it. I know it's not a majority. It's certainly a minority of people. And there's not as much opportunity in terms of instruments to trade bearish. But, you know, on the break of $25 and then the follow through of 4% to the downside, there is definitely trades to be had there as a bear. Looking down now, we're looking at 22.76. The weekly time frame is either going to confirm the bear flag and drop to a lower low, or the bulls are going to make a stand and try and hold 22.76 for a higher low on the weekly time frame to form. Hourly time frame, we have a lot of lower highs to be watching from the afternoon. Anything under 24.30, just an hourly lower high. We're not oversold enough for me to be interested in playing CGC right now. ACB, after holding that double bottom, again, just a very clear bear break. Double bottom on CGC bear break, ACB bear break of 492, and we get follow through of 20 cents. That's 4% to the downside. So on the hourly time frame, resistance, anything under 485 means nothing. It means the bears are still in control. There's a lack of support nearby. Weekly lower highs and lower lows, and it's all about 458 from here. If we were to drop towards 458 within the next week of trading, I would be interested in a potential playoff of that support, and actually less than that. It would have to happen in the next couple days for me to be interested in a playoff of that support. Otherwise, we are going to lose the monthly uptrend. That is notable. ACB must hold 458 to keep that monthly uptrend. Otherwise, we are then in a lower high, lower low pattern. Who else is in a monthly downtrend? IAN was one of the names to do it first in the US MJ space, and we know the story there. Ever since that monthly bear break occurred, that was at 450. We're now at 250. So every single individual name needs to hold a monthly high or low. If not, it is certainly a red flag long-term, technically speaking. APHA had a chance to take the lead in this sector. Could not change the trend. Low, high, higher low, lower high, lower low. 502 is support now, and we have no nearby support. There's a gap to fill at 541, which is the next level. Anything on the hourly time frame under 582 keeps the bears in full control. Weakness. Cron is the weakest of the major Canadian MJ names with that daily RSI down at 26. And I very early into the afternoon or late morning today said, things are getting crushed. The S&P 500 is weak. I'm waiting for the trade to come to me. I'm not going to try and fight this trend in the middle of the day when all momentum is going bearish. I'm going to patiently wait. If we close weak and if we open weak, I will look to play this oversold bounce in Cron. That's my criteria. If it doesn't happen, I'm not interested. So that just eliminated any questioning during the day. Should I start to scale in? Are we looking for an oversold bounce? Because so often, if we're seeing weakness in the middle of the day, we don't really see a turnaround start in the middle of the day and then follow through into the close. It certainly has happened, but not in this recent environment. Cron has seen a lower high 6 days in a row. There is no weekly support nearby. We broke 956 support, and we're looking down at 9 psychological. Monthly equilibrium is absolutely anticipated. We're looking for a higher low compared to 650, but the size of the pullback, we're definitely looking for a monthly lower high when this bounce gets going. Bears in full control, didn't even set. Actually, we did have one little resistance here, 957. So if we start tomorrow, and if we break 934 first thing, and we head down towards $9, I will look for an oversold bounce play to begin scaling in. The daily RSI will be 26. The 4-hour RSI will be in the teens. The hourly RSI will be in the teens if we start with weakness. If we see a higher open tomorrow, the only play then would be a bottom fishing play off of the low of today, and that's a less attractive play for me personally, unless it's a very small risk play, risking 5 cents above the low of the day. Maybe it'll be worth it, but all depends where we open. TLRY, we certainly saw the lack of follow through already. Now the bears are getting follow through. 25.15 is the only support nearby, and we're heading that way. Hexo, after the bull reaction, equilibrium is playing out. So we have our high, low, lower high, higher low, lower high, and we're scouting a higher low compared to 391. So there's a potential playoff of 391 support. Bulls would like to remain in this pattern. Otherwise, it would be a clear bear break. VFF falling apart. Huge bear volume. That's the highest volume in a month, and it's all bears on a red Maribozu candlestick. Lower highs and lower lows, the weekly time frame. We had a great bounce. There's your chance, bulls. Weekly trend change. Let's do it. Low, high, breaking all kinds of resistances. Higher low, lower high, lower low. Looking back at the low of consolidation of 889, and that would be a monthly downtrend if it breaks. It would be our high, low of the pullback, lower high, and lower low if we break 889 support. Bears in complete control. Daily RSI just getting oversold. 4-hour RSI cooling off a little bit in extended hours. Similar to Cron, but the daily RSI is not as beat up, so I would rather have Cron because of that RSI. Topped out on T-God. Saw that candlestick yesterday. Bear break today of 252. Confirmed that our top had been hit. Low is 220. High of the bounce is up at 274. And now we're looking for a higher low compared to 220. Have to hold that level if the bulls have any chance of a trend change. Otherwise, a new all-time low is to be tested. KSHB is completely falling apart. Look at that bear volume. At this point in the last 2 weeks of trading, we have dropped 47% in a total of 10 trading days. So I made an oversold bounce play on KSHB like I talked about in the video yesterday. First thing this morning, I placed a limit buy order. As soon as I saw that gap down open, I said, I want to play that gap down open. I placed a limit buy order. The ask was 254. I placed a 10,000 share order at 255. Of course, in the OTC shenanigans, the bid and the ask adjusted. My order sat there for a while. The bid and the ask adjusted to put my order then on the bid. 225 shares filled. I sold at 268. I made $20 after fees. I'll take it, considering where we dropped down to. But just a scenario where I tried to make an entry, illiquidity prevented an entry, and then we ended up dumping down. I'm not interested in KSHB at this point. Hourly is a potential bear flag. Look at this hourly exponential resistance. I cannot talk highly enough from this little gift that I have taken from the cryptocurrency space of the 12 and 26 period exponential moving average. But if you're looking at resistance on KSHB, I mean, I can't even count how many rejections we have from this level, but it's double digits, and anything, it's just a perfect guide. We can say, okay, as long as that level's resistance, we have to be very cautious as a bull. And even on this current bounce, we're going to test it again tomorrow. And if we can't get over it, it's just another rejection. Support is down at 210 and 2 psychological, weekly time frame falling apart, hitting the lowest prices in almost 2 years. IAN, daily bear flag confirmed. So it's giving us clear bear flags. I mean, these are clear low bull volume bounces that are leading to lower lows. 1 day of news with zero follow through. Closes at the low of the day 2 days in a row. Increasing bear volume today compared to yesterday. There is no support nearby. After 249, the low of today, which is where we closed. 245, $2 psychological. Bears in complete control in weekly oversold conditions. Anything on the hourly time frame under the high of today. Anything under 275 is an hourly lower high. We can bounce 9% and set an hourly lower high. We can bounce 15% and set a daily lower high. So the bears are in complete control of the sector, but some names more than others, and IAN is definitely one of the weakest USMJ names. MedMen is right there with it. MedMen's continuing to hit all-time lows. $2 psychological is support. Lower high every single day for the last 9 days in a row. That pattern has to break, but even if it bounces, we're just going to be looking for a daily lower high. OH, continued weakness. I played an OH bounce today. Ended up with 2 entries and ended up with an average on ORHOF. And my average is about 494 or so. So I am currently right now in the red. And I tried to sell partial position at break even at the end of the day. My order was on the ask. It did not get filled. So we're looking at an hourly bear flag on a lot of individual names into the end of the day. And if we break the low of today tomorrow, those hourly bear flags will be confirmed for another leg down. If we break the low of today tomorrow, I will exit my position at a loss. It will be a manageable loss. Same thing I did with Cureleaf. So again, just a perfect example of taking your losses when they're small, when you recognize this isn't going the way I planned. So I entered at, let's say it was, well, these levels are different because of the US ticker, but 1070 on Cureleaf. We got the bull break that I was looking for, but we didn't break the second level that I was looking for. We broke 1074. We didn't break 1084. I exited for a small loss. If I was still holding that position from where I exited roughly, it'd be down an extra 10%. That is a huge difference. That's the difference between taking a small loss and being able to make up that small loss the next day, or being a bag holder, having your cash tied up and being down 10% in a position. I can make back 2% very easily. Very confident I can make that back tomorrow. I can't make back 10% tomorrow. So cutting those losers quickly, especially in a market environment like this. There's nothing wrong with trying to get some entries and position ourselves for the inevitable longer term shift that is coming at some point, who knows when, but have to cut those losses and keep them small. So I will be cutting OH for that loss at this point if we break that low tomorrow. CL is also still weak, increasing bear volume, dropping down. Hourly bear flag here at the end of the day. Key short-term support, 797, and it's in free fall as well with no weekly support. A lot of these USMJ names are in free fall. MedMen, IAN, CL, all in free fall. KSHB is in free fall. It's not an MSO. GTII, loss of the daily uptrend, so the weekly chart has to pull back, hold 1051, and break 1445 to change the weekly trend. Cureleaf got hit real hard. The bounce started in the market and the sector, and Cureleaf hit a new low of the day right after that. And I posted in the chat room, something's up with Cureleaf. We just hit a new low of the day when everybody's bouncing. Next post was from another member posting the news, Massachusetts banning vape sales. I'm headed to Massachusetts tomorrow. I was going to buy some vapes. I'll see. I'll do some ground research and see if they've taken them off the shelves yet. But weekly consolidation is underway for Cureleaf. We're looking for a higher low to form compared to 775, and the bulls would then have to break 1084 to change the weekly trend. But we're closing at the low of the day. The bears still have a lot of momentum in their favor. The hourly RSI is close to the teens. A lot of these USMJ names are so beat up that their hourly RSI is down in the teens. CWeb, we saw the weakness for a while now. It's following through. $20 broke, and now just $17.85 as the next nearby level. Weekly time frame is in a downtrend. Lower high and lower low. Monthly equilibrium continuing to play out. High, low, lower high. Scouting a monthly higher low compared to 1465. Still a lot of space before that level. TRUL bears. Weekly time frame, trying to set a higher low compared to have to hold 991 and break 1285 to prove anything on this longer term time frame. So we have a mix here. USMJ names, some in free fall, some still have a weekly higher low possibility. It's certainly not looking hopeful in the short term for those bulls to form a weekly higher low, but it's possible. At least there's a support level to be going off of and potentially formulating a trade game plan based off of. Canadian MJ, the major names, most of them are in free fall. CGC has a level left nearby, a couple levels. ACB is free fall. Cron is free fall. APHA has some support levels. TLRY only has one support level. VFF is in free fall. So again, can't sugarcoat it. I want the stocks to go up. I want everybody to make money as bulls. That's when it's easier. That's when the most money is being made by people. But we have to call it like it is, and it's extremely weak right now. We will be watching for oversold bounces. Now is not the time to be selling when there's extreme fear and extreme RSI levels. And other than that, honestly, at this point, I'm not making money in the US MJ space or the Canadian MJ space over the last couple of months. Essentially, what my trading has boiled down to is some small losses and then offsetting those losses with regular day trading gains. So I feel like I'm coming out ahead just because I'm going to have a whole bunch of cash ready and waiting when we do see this shift. But again, when you're holding your bags, there is no cash to put to work when that momentum shift goes on. And again, it's just completely giving up any control of the situation. And I've given the analogy in the past of being a leaf blowing in the wind when we have our hands tied, when we don't have a game plan to stop ourselves out. We can always drop to a lower low. Can we be down 10% from where all these levels are 1 month from now? Yes, it's a possibility. Is it a probability? Maybe, maybe not. I personally would probably say no, but it's possible. So we must protect against any possible scenario. And in this instance, I don't have anything else to say. I hope you're well. I'm going to be traveling a bit, heading up north. Videos won't be as regular as usual. I'll put them out as I can. And I'll see you all soon. Do good things.
It's a duck triangle.